Tonight we have Alex Swanson with us, and he has a story full of really awesome principles for being successful as an entrepreneur, and Jaden will introduce him in a minute. But our last speaker now was 2 weeks ago. It was Dr. Lyle Barber, and if three of you want to come up and tell us one thing you learned from Lyle Barber, he taught us a lot about adversity and things he had to go through to build what he has today. But if you want to come up, three of you, we'll give you a book, and then we'll introduce Alex. So who wants to come up? Is it too far back for you to remember? Okay, right there in the back, come on up. And right here, please come on up. And we need one more. Good, come on up. So give us your name, tell us one thing that impressed you that maybe you'll take with you in your career, and we'll give you a book, and then we'll get started.
My name's Thomas. One thing that I really liked that I forgot his name already, that he talked about last time was you can't just stop once you face a roadblock or a trial or a hard thing. You just have to keep pushing through it, because the most successful people in life push through the hard stuff to get to the good parts.
Yeah, my name's Bridger Winward, and I learned something very similar, just about putting yourself like outside of that comfort zone, where it's kind of like this cycle between like being comfortable and then like having success, and like you just can't stay in the comfort side if you want to see those rewards, see that confidence, see that growth. So you need to always be pushing past the pain, keep going.
Yeah, just like they said, doing the hard thing, pushing through, but also finding the balance of what is hard and inefficient and what is hard and needs to be done. So, yeah.
Thank you.
Okay, Alex is driven up from Salt Lake, and his wife Jane is here. We're grateful to have them here, and we'll have Jaden come on up and do our introduction.
Thank you, Mike. We're very happy to have Alex and Jane here today. Alex is the founder of Nuvia Dental Implant Centers and an innovator in the dental industry. He credits his success to his wife, his 3 children, and his passion for entrepreneurship. Alex studied accounting at the University of Utah, and after graduation, he gained hands-on experience working at a dental office and began turning knowledge into action. Driven by curiosity and resilience, he founded Nuvia Dental Implant Centers, specializing in permanent zirconia teeth in just 24 hours. The company emphasizes transparent pricing, flexible payment options, and restoring patients' confidence through lasting smiles. Alex believes entrepreneurship is a powerful force for building stronger families, communities, and a better future. Please welcome Alex Swanson.
Cool. Thanks, Jaden. All right, guys. Well, I'm grateful to be up here. I don't usually do this kind of stuff. I am super informal, and so if you guys have any questions during this thing, I know there's a Q&A at the end, but if you have a question, you literally can just raise your hand. If I don't see you, make a noise, and then we'll rock, okay? I just need to make a correction real quick. I am one of the co-founders of Nuvia. So there are a few other folks that I owe a lot of the success of Nuvia and my own personal success too. And I'll talk about Nuvia today, but I'm not going to talk too much about the company. I'll talk to you guys about the company and whatever you guys want to know. But I want to talk to you guys about kind of my journey as an entrepreneur, because I was in your shoes just a little bit ago. I'm 33 years old, and I remember sitting in your shoes and being like, what in the world am I going to do with my life? I was married really young, and I was sitting in your shoes and just wondering what does life have in store for me, and how can I go and maximize it? So I do want to take a second to tell you guys that Mike Glauser's the man. I met Mike's son in college, not knowing Mike at all. He said, hey, my dad has this book called Main Street Entrepreneur, because we were in the accounting program together, me and his youngest son, way smarter than me. Okay, so I did accounting. I am not an accountant. Okay, I can't do your taxes for you. I don't like accounting, but I like to think like an accountant. His son is really good at accounting. He didn't end up going into accounting either, but he was really good. he got me through undergrad. Tyler did, his youngest boy, and we're the same age. And then I moved into the neighborhood where Mike and Mary live. And Mike's story of entrepreneurship and him going into academics, and then the students saying, "What have you done in entrepreneurship?" And then he's like, "I haven't done anything." And they're like, "Well, what do you have to teach us?" And then so he leaves and goes and starts a business, builds it, sells it, and is like, he called his shot, which I just love those stories. So I just hope you guys know that Mike does this, I believe, more so as a service and because he feels like he needs to pay it forward, and that's why ultimately I'm here, because I've been super blessed by entrepreneurship. I think it's the greatest thing about our country. It's the greatest thing about, I think it's like the last frontier, right? It is an adventure to be an entrepreneur, and I love doing it. So let me tell you a little bit about my story real quick. Jaden, I don't know if this is moving. Is it moving? Oh, the button wasn't on. Jaden, what happened? Gives me a remote that doesn't work. Okay, so real quick, I'll just go over my bio, okay? I do want to let you guys know that everything that I get to do professionally is because my home life is awesome. Okay, my wife's here. I have 3 little kids, and like our home is awesome. And like there's nothing that I could do professionally that if this wasn't great, it would ever make up for, okay? Being married to the love of your life, having children with them, it's an amazing ride. And I just want you guys to know that like all the stuff that I talk about tonight and all the success of my professional life so far is because this is a great, my home is good, okay? My bio is that I was an average to below average student. I actually did not like school. My wife had to like drag me along to finish my degree. Like I hated sitting in class. My dad was a dentist, which is kind of how I got into dentistry. And I actually tried to be a dentist, if you didn't know. And then I went through chemistry 1, like just chem 1, C-. And I tried the hardest that I ever could. And that's like the first class. So I was like, man, I'm cooked. Like there's no way this is gonna work. And so I just give up. And like that was like the first time. It's like, hey, look, if you're not good at that thing and you don't like that thing, like just move along. Like don't try and fight that fight, okay? Do what you love to do was kind of my first lesson in that. So I did accounting. I can do plus, minus, multiplication, and division. Like let me go there. No offense to our accounting majors. It's like, it's not rocket science, even though they make it sound complicated, okay? This is a great quote that I read in a book once. The guy was an entrepreneur too, and he says, I was just dumb enough to not become a doctor or a lawyer. And that was me too. Like I tried to be a doctor, didn't work. I actually took the LSAT, which is the entry to be a lawyer. I was like, this is the only way to be rich, is to be a doctor or a lawyer or play in the NFL. And the NFL is not gonna work. I'm 5'11" on a good day, and I can't be a doctor. And then I take my LSAT, I sit in the LSAT, the lady next to me pulls open a bag of just a ton of pills. Just like, she's so nervous. And I was like, oh my gosh. And I take it and I was like, sub-average, not gonna be a lawyer. What am I gonna do? Okay, everything that I know, okay, and everything I'm really gonna like talk about tonight, I've read in a book. Okay, I believe you can gain experience 2 ways. You can either live it, which is fine, or you can do it a lot faster by reading someone who's already experienced it. Okay, I also have a quote, not my own. It says, poor people have big TVs, rich people have libraries. And that is a true fact from everything I know. The smartest people in the world, you guys are voracious readers. They are always curious. They are always learning, okay? And the last thing is that I did not do any of this alone. Like I have a whole thing on partnerships and making sure you partner with the right people. This whole thing about you can build $1 billion company and with AI bots and you can just be a single person, I'm like, that's never gonna happen. I'm sorry, it won't happen. You have to do it with other people, okay, if you really wanna do it, right? So that's my bio real quick. Everyone good? Okay. So define the odds. I will get into like the straight numbers. I always hate it when like people get up and they like don't talk about their numbers like it's like a big secret. There's a lot of people that want to talk to you about business and have opinions about business, but it's like, what have you actually done and what are the numbers that are going to prove it? This is our company right here, okay? We launched this thing in 2020. Okay, we have over 100,000 5-star Google reviews of real patients, okay? We have over 2,000 employees across the country and also in other countries, okay? It's like 2,400 right now. In 2025, we did $600 million in revenue. We have $0 of invested capital. We never raised any money. And we have 0 MBAs, okay? That's our company. To the left here, I read this in a book early on before I started a business. And it was like, here are the odds that you're playing against of the success of starting a business in America, okay? At the time of this writing, there was 26 million businesses that they did this study, small, medium, large, okay? Only 17,000 of 26 million ever got to over $50 million of revenue. I will do the math if you're doing it on your phone right now. It is a 0.0006% chance to ever reach 50 million. That's like a lottery ticket. And we did that in our second year. And I'm telling you guys that it's not, the world wants to tell you that it's like this big secret to do this. And I'm telling you that it's not. And you don't have to be a super genius. You don't have to create the next new Uber of whatever business, okay? And hopefully something that I say today can just, kind of stir your heart a little bit of like, hey, I can do it, okay? Because I am a normal, sub-average person, okay? But I had a couple things happen and go my way that as I look back, I'm like, those were key moments that actually were really pivotal. And I wish I could tell you that I had this all planned out. I didn't. If you told me 5 years ago this is where we'd be, I'd be like, I'm just living on a mountain. But the fact of the matter is, like, I'm never satisfied. I'm like, we could do way more than this. Okay, so let me talk to you about it real quick. I really think every entrepreneur needs to write this down. Okay, but the enemy of progress is perfection. You will never, ever be able to have a perfect system. And if you're going to wait for a perfect moment to actually take a leap on something, you're never going to do it. Okay? Just act like directionally in the right spot and moving forward and take the next step. Okay? So my first thing, during my undergrad, and I have a whole thing on educating yourself, okay? My wife hates it because I really don't listen to Spotify, like I don't listen to music. Because when I was an undergrad, podcasts started to become a thing. They weren't near as big, but they were kind of this new thing. And I started to get interested in the business side of dentistry, okay? And I rode a motorcycle. My mom didn't know I had a motorcycle for years. I hid it in the garage. But I'd ride it to it from my job. I waited tables in college, and I would listen to podcasts about what I was trying to learn. And then school was like a secondary thing of like, I just got to get through this. But this is what I'm really interested in, okay? So I am like self-educating. I'm buying every single book on Amazon about this thing that I became interested in. Someone asked me, by the way, how'd you get into this, real quick? My dad was a dentist. He hated the business, but he loved being a dentist. And that's kind of how I was like, oh, maybe there's a business in this because I can't be a dentist. And then I learned about this whole world of dental management groups, okay? So I waited tables at night, barely graduated, like I said. In 2016, a year after, I graduated my undergrad, and everyone's going to get a master's of accounting, doing an MBA. By the way, I've dropped out of 2 MBAs within the first week. I thought that I was like, oh yeah, I'll go do it. First week, I'm like, this is not for me. Like, I need to go be an entrepreneur. Just make sure, if you're going to get a degree, which I'm assuming all of you are because you're here, or go get a master's degree or something, make sure it has a purpose. Don't just go to school because it's like, that's what you do and that's what society tells you to do. Like, make sure you have a purpose for your degree and get done with it as quickly as possible and as affordably as possible, okay? Don't spend your life in school. Get out as quickly as possible and start rocking, okay? So everyone goes, and I'm like, hey, I had this job set up to work for this dental group, and they had salary and benefits, and it was like this one like singular job. It's a very unique kind of niche, and it fell apart 2 days before graduation. I literally cried. Like, my wife will tell you, like, I was just, oh my gosh, like, this is my dream job. What am I going to do now? And the guy was really nice because their deal fell through. I couldn't work there because they didn't have a job for me. And he's like, I know a guy. I'll see if he has a gig. So that I went and worked for this smaller group that had 10 offices. And he's like, I have one job opening, and it's at the front desk of a dental office for $15 an hour. And at my current like waiting table job, I was making more money than that. So I was like, wait, I just graduated college and I'm gonna take a pay cut. But in my mind, I was like, this is an investment for me to learn like the ins and outs of the business. So I'll talk to you guys a little bit about this. But everyone was like, hey, what are you guys gonna do? Everyone was sharing their, hey, here's what I'm doing after I graduate kind of story. And I'm like, I'm going to work at a front desk at a dental office in Park City. And everyone was like, really? And I was like, yep. And you will have times as an entrepreneur, if you're going to do this, that you're going to have to go against the crowd. You will look like a fool, and you just have to like accept it. My wife hates it now. Now I like love being the black sheep. Crowd says this way, I'm like, I'll go that way just cause, and it'll be kind of fun, and we'll see what happens, right? But I took that job, and it was really important, and I'll get into it. 2017, a year out of that, okay. Oh, I became like the COO pretty quick, which it's a small little business. So like you hear like a chief operating officer, like it's a big, like it's Procter & Gamble. It was not. It was like a small little thing. But because it was so small, like I was able to test things. In smaller businesses, if you're going to be an entrepreneur and you want to go learn something, they're better to get into than a big corporation. Okay? Go work for a small business because you can see the engine. Okay? And you can get to know how the people inside of it. 2017, I purchased a 30-year-old dental practice, a general dental practice. In the first 2 years, we doubled the revenue. Okay, it was awesome. And I realized, like, hey, this whole kind of DSO or dental service organization is what the company technically is, right? We don't provide clinical services, we provide the management services. I'm like, it's kind of broken because I'm going to have to go raise a bunch of money. Like going out and just raising, and this was at the time when financing was free. You guys are probably too young. I don't even remember like the Great Recession that happened in 2009 because I was in high school. You guys, the last decade of y'all's life, literally like interest rates were zero, right? So everyone's just pumping debt into businesses, and I was like, in a normal interest rate environment, this doesn't work. And so I pivot, and I start a mobile dentistry startup. So a dental hygienist would go into workplaces, clean people's teeth. If I had $1 for every time someone was like, oh my gosh, man, you're going to be so rich. This is a great idea. Because no one goes to the dentist. Everyone has benefits. They're all free. Just go take the dentist to them. It's the Uber of dentistry. I lost $100K on that business. And we went at it. Okay? And that's another thing I'll get into. But that sparks the Nuvia idea. So we had started working with a marketing agency that was marketing for dental implant patients. I had a buddy who worked for a firm in St. George, and literally, like, I am $100,000 deep in this thing. And that's a hard thing to close the door on, right? Just like $100K, see you later. And I'm about to close, I'm like trying to debate whether to close, and I get a call from the general dentistry office, which we still had, and I get a call from the practice manager, and she says, hey, we just started 2 patients, dental implant patients, that are the same amount of revenue as 100 recurring patients. And I'm like, huh? How does that work? And she's like, that's just what happened. And it just clicked in my head of like, hey, if we can just do this marketing service and start up these offices, we don't need to go get a bunch of debt. Like, we can actually just self-optimize this thing and work with this marketing agency. So I call my buddy who works there. I'm like, hey, man, we're just going to work with you guys going forward, and we're just going to open up all these dental implant centers. Sound good? He's like, well, hold on. Let me talk to my boss. I get a text like an hour later that says, hey, it's your new business partner. And that was his boss, who's now my business partner. His name's Dewey. He is absolutely unreal. I'll talk about partnerships here in a minute. So we started in January 2020. You guys remember that year? What a time to start a business that has no investor money. We literally started this with no money, you guys. Like, we put a little bit of our own money in, and we had like 90 days of working capital that was going to run out. So we better start selling. We better start collecting money. And it gets traction. Our first goal was to do $1 million in our first year. In our 3rd month, we did like $375,000. And it was like, holy cow, we got something, right? So like, you take these couple pivots, and then boom. In 2021, we developed our permanent teeth in 24-hour unique value proposition. 22, we kind of nailed the model, and then we scaled it. Now we have 50 locations nationwide. We're building like 12 more. We have operations, 20-something different states, 2,000 people. we had Nick Saban at our company conference in Nashville, like 700 people of the 2,000 total came in. And it's just a ride of a lifetime, you guys. Like I look at this whole thing, and it's like kind of a frog in water. You guys know the whole story of like turn the heat up on the water in the pot, and the frog just sits in there. Like I look back on where I was at when I had to lose $100,000 on that, and I was like, that was a great moment for me. And when I lost that job 2 days before graduation, and that led me to that dental practice in Park City, and everyone laughed at me, like those were pivotal moments. So like, don't think that the setbacks to me were always the greatest opportunity. And if you're not trying and getting kicked in the teeth every so often, like you're not trying hard enough. Okay, you got to put yourself out there and go take it. So, all right, I'm going to go through a couple lessons just real quick, okay? When you're an early entrepreneur, entrepreneurship is suffering. It is not easy. I showed you guys that chart, right? Expect to fail. If you're putting yourself out there, people are going to laugh at you. People are going to slam the door in your face. But like, welcome to the grind. What I love about entrepreneurship is that it is the great reality. Everyone told me about that mobile thing. They're like, you're going to be so rich. But guess what? The customer didn't want it. My mom told me it was like the greatest idea she ever heard. But the customer doesn't care what your mom thinks. The customer doesn't care what degree you got or what your GPA was, right? But expect to suffer. Second thing, learn how to sell. I do not understand how there are not sales courses in business schools, like true sales. Like, here's how you get a customer to give you money. Because we just think of sales, and we're like, oh, that sleazy car salesman. I would never do that. Like, it's below me. I'm going to be a manager of salespeople. It's like, learn how to sell. If you know how to sell, you will be infinitely valuable. Okay, getting someone influence you guys is the greatest superpower in the world. Getting someone to give you money in exchange for a service is your greatest skill. Learn it. By the way, at the end of this whole thing, I have like my whole library of like, hey, if I was on a desert island, I could read no more books. Here's my library, and I have a whole list of stuff for you guys of like, here's how you could go self-educate yourself. Do not be lulled into the siren song of the safety net of corporate America. Okay? People said, oh my gosh, it's so risky to be an entrepreneur. I said, why is that? Why do you think that? They're like, oh my gosh, like, what happens if the economy goes bad? I'm like, well, if you're in corporate America and someone just decides to slash your job because the economy's bad, you don't have anything. Like, I had so many friends get laid off during COVID, but as an entrepreneur, I could make the call of how to pivot my business. I wasn't relying on anyone else. Like, it was on me. And that's a double-edged sword. You have to wake up every day and look yourself in the mirror and be like, hey, it's on me today, which is, I like it. Some days, I don't like it. But if you have more good days than bad, it's a fun thing, okay? I will tell you, being a founder is more satisfied than being a CEO. Okay, I hold this title of CEO. Really, it's me and my partners that make executive decisions. Okay, I just do that because sometimes I'll get on stage to the company and present. Okay, being a founder though, when I announce myself, I'm a co-founder. I'm not a CEO, because a founder creates something that I look at like CEOs, which is fine. That's not really my skill set actually, but founders create something out of nothing. Okay, that's a founder. Work for a small company in the industry to gain experience. Okay, even if like you take a pay cut, that is such great investable time. All right, so it's okay to take a pay cut and go work inside of a small business and learn. If you can get paid while you learn something, even better. Okay? Avoid the lie. Okay, this is a big point for me. Avoid the lie of living up your 20s. Everyone says your 20s is your time to be free, to go backpack through Europe, to do all these things. And you know why they say that? It's because they mess around all in their 20s, and then their 30s, 40s, 50s, they're just chained to a desk because they didn't utilize their 20s and 30s. Your 20s, you guys, is the most important decade. It is the highest leverage decade of your professional life, and you have no risk. Some of you might have kids, which is great. Some of you might be married, which is great. But overall, you guys, like, wait till you're in your 30s and you've got a mortgage and you've got 3 kids and now you want to go start a venture and you're like, I have all these bills and obligations. how do I actually do this? I have friends come to me now to be like, oh my gosh, man, I want to be an entrepreneur because of like what you did. And I'm like, they're like, how did you do it? I'm like, dude, my situation was way different because I just had to feed myself and my wife and a roof over our head and pay for gas. I drove for Uber. I like donated plasma. Like your 20s, you guys, is when you, and do not believe that because you're young, you can't lead a team. You can't start a business. The more that I get into it, and like I meet older people, I meet people that run. I mean, we work with a company, it's like a $20 billion bank. I sit with their execs. I'm like, I'll stack up my crew against your crew all day long. Like you can do it, even when you're young. Even though the world tells you you've got to pay the price like corporate America did. You got to wait your turn. No, go take your turn. Go rock, okay? Do not waste your 20s. If you get any message from me, do not waste your 20s, okay? Okay. Take responsibility for your education, okay? A college education is not enough, especially today. The ROI on college degrees, you can look up any study you want, and I know I'm in a college, establishment. The ROI is going down, which, that's not to say college is bad. I'm not here to tell you guys, everyone drop out today and go start a business and let's go, right? No, stay in school, rock, finish your degrees, get out as quickly as possible, least amount of debt, rock. I have my sister here who graduated here. She worked 3 jobs, graduated with no debt. She's unbelievable. Just get out. Don't stay here, okay? Go start to make money. That's way more fun, all right? This input, process, outputs, like in the age of AI, you literally can just Google something and it'll regurgitate a ton of things like, okay, what did Elon Musk say about starting a business? I promise you, you'll get way more about reading Elon Musk's biography than just getting like the ChatGPT answer on it. Like it is important to sit down with a book and let your thoughts start to process, right? Instead of just getting like outputs all the time, reading is really important, even more than podcasts to me, because you sit there with thoughts. And then you start to put these thoughts together and it sparks ideas, okay? So give yourself time to process and think through things, okay? I suffer from input FOMO. Everyone knows what FOMO is, right? Y'all are young. Fear of missing out, okay? I suffer, like I get nervous if I'm not listening to something. That's why I don't listen to Spotify. I don't listen to music. Because I'm like, oh my gosh, what do I got to learn? What do I got to learn? But I don't give myself enough time to process this and think through it, okay? I used to listen to this really technical podcast while I worked out. And like everyone was listening to Linkin Park. I'm like, what are you listening to? And I'd be like, oh, this like specific business strategy book. It's from Michael Porter, which is a legendary book. I have it in my library. And they're like, you're so boring. Like, how do you work out to that? And I'm like, I don't know, man. It's just fun, and I get nervous if I don't know this stuff. So I like Linkin Park, though, if you guys like Linkin Park. So some on the weekends, I'll like jam to it. Okay. Guys, literally access to the best minds. Like colleges were established because those are where the greatest minds are at. Now you guys literally in your pocket right now, you have the access to the greatest minds in the world. Use it, okay? But also I have a whole thing on social media. I'll get into it. Never stop learning. Don't think, okay, just because I graduated college, I'm done learning. I cannot stand it when people say that. I'm going to get done learning. No, there's so much stuff to learn, you guys. Just keep going. Keep learning. Keep being curious, okay? There's so much to learn. When you're first getting started, go broad first, understand the basic fundamentals, right? And I have kind of the different topics, but then you can dial in, okay? Don't think you got to go, narrow and then a mile deep. You can go broad first and then go into the specifics. You have to know how machines work to be able to actually run a business, all right? Please avoid 99% of the business book section, which is like 99% self-help books. And I'm not against self-help books, okay? But a lot of them are just fluffy nonsense about like, you're amazing, you rock, have the great mindset, okay? Study like truly technical books, okay? And if you got to get up every single day and listen to Eminem and just get pumped up, okay, be done. Read technical stuff, okay? Because 99% of the business book section is like, you are a bad A, Like that book. I hate seeing that book. I'm like, okay, sounds good. Message sent. We don't need to read a book about it, okay? Another one, marketing and sales is the lifeblood of everything. My business partner taught me that, okay? As much as we don't want to say we are salesmen, we are saleswomen, we sell things, we do, okay? And if you know how to acquire a customer, you will be valuable forever. And the principles of marketing and sales are real. The mediums might change. You can do direct mail, you can do, digital marketing, all those things. Learn how to do this, you guys, and I promise you, your life will be forever changed. But you cannot be a successful entrepreneur, in my opinion, if you do not know how to market and sell. Okay? Your amazing product, I thought that mobile thing would sell itself. I'm like, this is such a slam dunk idea. I don't even need to sell this. This is a no-brainer. You have to sell. Your product won't sell itself. Okay? You've got to go out there and get people to say yes to you. You have to be loud. You have to have a megaphone. Okay? The other one, this was a big thing. I went to dinner with a guy yesterday and learned his story. He's an oral surgeon. This guy got rejected from 50 different dental schools, and he finally just called one. He picked up the phone and he called them, and the lady's like, "Why do you want to come here?" And he's like, because it has great history. And she's like, "No, really, why do you want to come here?" And he tells her the story. Okay, he gets an interview. This one dental school, it's NYU. He goes, his grades were terrible early on, then he finally got it himself right, got in. So he goes to the interview, he gets a letter, he comes home, you guys, and he literally got a letter in the mail sitting on his door. And he's like, "Oh my gosh, they expedited my fast track to get into the school." And he read it, and it said, "We regret to inform you that you haven't been selected for an interview." And he's like, "What? I just went to an interview. This is so weird." He looks at it, and literally it was dated the same day that he made the call. Later that day, he gets an acceptance letter to dental school. So he got a rejection letter and an acceptance letter in the same day, and the only difference was that he made a phone call and he talked to someone. So, and he says in his office he has his rejection letter and his acceptance letter on the wall. I have the chills right now, talking about this. Because he just made the call. Don't think, hey, I'm just going to send an email and wait, and I don't want to bug him. Guys, bang down the door. Be buggy, okay? You're going to have to go get what you want if you want to be successful in this life, because no one's going to give you a handout, okay? Bang down the door. Do it in person. Make a phone call. Don't just send a text, send an email and be like, they never got back to me. You've got to go do it, okay? Sorry, that stuff's, I copied and pasted these slides. Okay. Second thing, this is very simple. Avoid social media. It is the greatest and most addictive substance humans have ever made, and it will ruin your life. I promise you. The faces, everyone's like, "Argh! I don't want to do it." The network's effects, these algorithms, you guys, are meant to suck up your life, your time, your attention, which is the most valuable resource you have. I promise you. All the success that I've had is because I don't have it. I called someone from my high school, and they were like, "I thought you were dead." And I was like, "No, I'm not dead. What's going on?" And we had a great catch-up, moved along, talked to her, 2 years later. And that's how it used to be, okay? If the person's not important enough to you that you're going to pick up the phone and call them, why are you giving it attention? Okay? I'd much rather have 3 really, really good friends than 1,000 friends that I just kind of see their crap of their life. Not crap, sorry, I shouldn't say that. I am so against social media. You can ask any one of my family members. I am exhausting on this topic because I believe that it's a drug, because it has the same effects of addictive substances inside the brain. And if you want to be successful, it will free up so much of your time, and just get rid of it, and you will be fine. Okay? You will be fine. So, everyone got my piece on social media? I know everyone's going to go delete all their accounts and get off of it. I actually asked my wife's cousin, she's your age, and I said, "Do you think you're addicted to social media?" This is my Thanksgiving topic. So I'm a fun guy to have around. And she's like, "No." I'm like, "Oh, so you could just delete it tomorrow?" She's like, "Yeah." I'm like, "So just do it." She's like, "No way." I'm like, "What if I paid you $1,000? She's like, "No." I'm like, "You would do it for $1,000? You're a college kid. You're eating ramen." She's like, I'm like, "That's what's called an addiction." Anyway, she called me later, and she's like, "Hey, I'm going on a trip. I need some money. I'm going to do it. I'm going to do my like social media fast. I'm like, all right, good luck. YouTube, you guys, is awesome. I love YouTube. YouTube can be, people don't think it's social media. It is. Those algorithms, you guys, are just meant to suck up your time, your attention, those little YouTube clips, those YouTube shorts. TikTok, I think, is terrible. But YouTube, use YouTube to actually be effective to teach you. Don't use it to just like suck up your time, okay? All right. Okay, this one is really important. I'm a big believer in meat and potato businesses, but everything that I learned when I was in college and in school was like, you have to just have this brilliant idea that no one has ever thought of before. I'm like, no way. That lost me $100,000. There's a reason why that business doesn't exist. No one wants it, okay? They're like, oh, this is a saturated market. It's like, great, that means there's money there, right? When there's blood in the water and there's sharks, it's like, I'm going to go where the sharks are at, okay? Because, you guys, like, I think this whole blue ocean strategy, there's a book called Blue Ocean Strategy. I think it's complete nonsense. Go to where there's customers and where there's demand already and just outcompete, okay? There are so many businesses out there like, man, I could smoke this business, right? Just by being a better operator and knowing the levers of the business. Just know the game you're playing and then outcompete them, okay? This is a competition. Don't go where there's no one else, because guess what? There's a reason why there's no fishermen over there, because there's no fish, okay? So don't take that risk and like, oh, I'm going to go way past it. No one knows about there's so many fish out here. It's like, there's only been a couple people to do that. I'll play the odds and go where the fishermen are, and I'll just see if I can get better bait, okay? Does that make sense? Like meat and potatoes business, I have a friend, two buddies. They bought a window business. Not sexy, windows. They do $50 million in revenue. They bought it doing 15. They put in a couple new things. It was an old school business, and now they do 50 million. It's windows. Like, to me, that's a meat and potatoes business. And it's okay to go after those because they make real money, okay? Entrepreneurship, I'm wrapping up, you guys, but entrepreneurship is all about action, okay? I love this quote. This is my favorite quote of all time, okay? Emerson said that weak people believe in luck and believe in circumstance. Do not believe that. That is what, society wants to tell you. It's, oh yeah, everything's against you. Believe in cause and effect. Believe that you can change your own outcome. It's hard to have this because it's like when you fail, that's something that you caused, which is fine. But have a strong internal locus of control. Don't blame other people for your circumstance. Say, this is on me, and I'm going to go get it, okay? But this stuff's not going to come to you. And if you're a person that just lets life happen, entrepreneurship is going to be a tough road. You've got to go take it, okay? Calculated risk, be an entrepreneur. Calculated risk means you know what you're doing, and you're you know when to press the gas pedal, and you know when to press the brake, okay? Okay, this is maybe not the greatest politically correct thing to say on a stage, but if you're going to do this, be an entrepreneur, you're going to have I call them a pucker moment. Okay, so this happened to me. I had done all of this studying for years. Prepared, I'm going to go buy a dental office. I'm going to be able to do this. And then I had to sign the purchase agreement on this thing. This practice was $400,000. Okay? And I'd never seen that amount of money in my life. Now our business is $600 million, and so it seems like it's peanuts. But at that time, I was like, this is real money. This is real stakes. We are at the poker table right now, and I just put all my chips in. Am I really ready to roll these dice? Do I really believe in myself? Okay? You're going to have a couple moments as an entrepreneur where it's you've got to walk through the door, and there's going to be an unknown. Take it. Okay? As long as you're prepared, as long as you know what you're doing, go after it. Don't get scared. But you're going to have those moments where you're just going to step off a stage. Be I hope there's another foot there, but believe in yourself that you can do it. But you will have a pucker moment. If you don't, you're not living. Okay? So you can't do this alone. This is on partnerships real quick. Don't believe LinkedIn. You're going to find a partner on LinkedIn. It's not like networking. I think LinkedIn's nonsense. I think it's where people go to think that they're selling and they're not selling. But so be it. But Warren Buffett had Charlie Munger. You probably never heard that name before. That was his right-hand man. He's a genius, okay? Steve Jobs has Wozniak, Jordan had Pippen. You know how it goes. I have phenomenal partners. And we disagree. We think differently. But we beat to the same drum. My partners don't stop. They are relentless, and we have the same work ethic, and we complement each other. Where I'm strong, they're weak. Where they're weak, I'm strong. So find partners that can do that and be able to work with other people, okay? Because if you're going to build something amazing or have a good time, you want to do it with people, okay? I get to work with my best friend every single day for my mission, and to be able to work with people that you love and make money and build something that's cool, there's no better thing to do. So just make sure, this last part right here, grow the pie. You don't have to fight over it. Anyone watch Shark Tank? That's like, I love Shark Tank. It's so much fun. Where Mark Cuban says like, a slice of a watermelon is bigger than an entire grape, he always says when he's talking about like the equity. Just grow the pie, okay? Don't fight over it. It can be a wealth-generating experience to be a good partner, and you don't have to be, dog eat dog with each other. Last thing, you guys, what is it? Okay, so if you would have told me this is where we were at 5 years ago, when I'm just sitting there $100,000 deep in the hole, I'd have been like, this is awesome. And if you ask me today, like, are you happy? Like, are you fulfilled? Have you, like, reached the top of the mountain? I'll tell you no. Like, I've never actually been more, I don't want to say dissatisfied, but I'm, like, always measuring myself in the business between what's actually happening and the ideal, okay? And I was listening to a guy speak, and he's like, what is it that you really want? And I was like, that is such a deep question. Someone asked me in the meeting before, like, why did you want to be an entrepreneur? And I had an experience when I was young, my family was, my dad got sick, and I just saw real financial hardship, like real stuff. And I'm like, I'll never do that. I'll never have that happen to me. And it wasn't anyone's fault. My father got really sick. But that was my why. And I said, I want to make money. And that's why I want to be an entrepreneur. So it's like, then why aren't you happy when the business is doing this? And I live a life that I can't even imagine. I realized, you guys, that money, you can't eat it. It's not going to keep you warm. You said that if we don't know how to heat and we're lighting dollar bills on fire, we're not going to be warm for too long. But money is freedom, okay? And it's okay to love money. It's okay to like nice things. I love nice things. But money is freedom. Freedom to just take my kids, wake them up one day and be like, hey, we're going to Disneyland. Let's just go, right? Because when you, does everyone kind of get what I'm saying? Like, freedom is doing what you want with who you want to do it with when you want to do it, okay? It's not having to get up. I don't have to get up every single day and be like, yep, my boss is telling me to go into work today, so I got to go, right? I purposefully see all of my kids before I go to work. And my youngest son wakes up late, and I wait for him to wake up because I get to do that as an entrepreneur because I worked really hard in my 20s, and I prepared for this moment, and that's more than any money in my bank account, okay, is that I get to see my kids in the morning. Health, wealth, and time. When you're young, okay, you have health and time, and you have no wealth. You're poor as dirt, okay? In your mids, like your middle age, you have wealth and you have health, but you have no time. When you're old, you have wealth and you have time, but you have no health. The key is to find these three things as quickly as possible. And that's what entrepreneurship provides. Health, wealth, time. Okay, I didn't get that from me. One of the books I have in here is from Naval Ravikant. He has that, and I thought it was awesome. Last thing is that life is about becoming. In our society, we believe in like very finite things, start, end point. And I'm learning life is about a becoming exercise, and you're always becoming, okay? I love entrepreneurship because it forces me every single day to become better than what I was yesterday, okay? So just remember that, okay? Last two things, how to solve any problem. If you write one thing down besides my social media thing, I guess here's number two. Someone told me this. I paid someone $500,000 to learn this, okay? And I'm giving it because it helped me so much. This is in life. This is personally, professionally, anything. You are facing a problem. Here are the 4 questions to ask yourself. I promise you, This sounds like nonsense and super generic. I'm not kidding you. I paid someone $500,000 to learn this lesson. Okay? How to solve any problem. How to get anything you want. Number one, what is the ultimate objective? What are you really trying to achieve? Okay? Second one, what's the best way to do it? The best way. Write down all the lists. What's the best way that you know how? And maybe you don't know. Maybe it's a different idea or something, but like, here's what I want. The ultimate objective of what I'm trying to achieve. What's the best way to do it that I know today? Number three is, what data points can you track? What are some indicators that you know you're on the right path, that this is the best way? And number four is, based on the data points, what do you need to change about number two and even number one? I thought I knew an ultimate objective of getting money. And then I realized, like, oh, this didn't bring me any happiness. So what is it that I really want? I want freedom. And that changed everything. And then what is the best way to accomplish that freedom? And for me, that was entrepreneurship. Okay? So I use this in my marriage. I use this in parenting. I use it in the business. We use it even at our level every single day to clarify, what are we really trying to do? Okay? So here's my library. If you want to take a picture of this, if I was on a stranded island and had to, get rid of every single book besides these, books on marketing and sales, business strategies, decision making, entrepreneurship, and operations, accounting, finance, and management. That's my go-to library. Okay, so hopefully that's helpful. I listen to a ton of Audible, Kindle, books, whatever. So that's what I got for you guys. Thank you so much for listening to me. I wish my kids listened as attentively as you guys did. But thank you guys a bunch, and good luck with everything. Okay, cool. So there's 10 minutes. I actually did pretty good on time, I think. So if you guys have any questions, I am. All right, I'm going to go left to right. So, yeah. What was your name? Just say your name, maybe what you're majoring in real quick.
I'm Dallin. I graduated a few years ago over a sales program in Valley.
Cool, man.
But, so first off, thank you. Thanks for coming and sharing everything. I was wondering that framework that you had for accomplishing something, those 4 steps at the end, could you walk us through, give us a detailed example of how you used that? And I'm just curious how you applied that and what you changed about points 1 and 2, what you learned about the ultimate objective. Just a good example would be helpful.
Yeah, it happened today. So we were on a meeting with our marketing team and our sales team, and we do a lot of tests, right? We do a lot of okay, here's the best ad that we've ran. Here's our, the test that is, can it beat it? If not, if it's gonna beat it, it's gonna replace it. If not, then we'll try a new test, right? And our sales guy just stood up. He raised his hand in the meeting. He's like, hey, we're doing better doing it this way, even though the ad's performing better, the ad allegedly, right? And so he's like, are we trying to achieve the best ad, or are we trying to, make the most money and get the highest conversion down funnel? And it was oh, it's the highest conversion down funnel. So it's we need to keep what we have going on right now. So what it clarified, are we just doing something that's actually not achieving our ultimate objective versus just chasing a vanity, oh, we feel like we're making progress, we feel like we're being productive, right? It really clarifies things very, very quickly of why are we even in this meeting, right? So we do it in meetings. I was talking to my kid, and she's very logical, and I'm trying to teach her this principle, and I'm getting okay, I got to teach you this, and then I sat back and I'm what's the ultimate objective here? Is it to teach her this principle, or that she knows I'm her dad and I love her, and for her to trust me? And that clarified, it's me teaching this principle to my 6-year-old daughter, it's not worth it right now. So she just needs to know that I love her. And I just saw those data points because she was getting more and more frustrated. She's not getting it. So I know that those are super vague examples, but if you apply those into a problem you have, I promise you it will clarify your thinking, and you'll be able to really delineate, oh no, we're not actually focusing on the right problem. So, yeah. Yeah. Aaron or Eric? Aaron. If I could only listen to one, it'd be The Game by Alex Hormozy. If it's about business. There's another one called it's called Outliers. It's a guy named Shane Parrish. He wrote books called Mental Models, The Great Mental Models, which is really, really good. That's more just like the great founder stories. And but in terms of just overall business, and if you click on this guy's podcast, Hormozy's podcast, he started a business called Gym Launch, sold it for like $40 million. He looks like a complete like gym rat tool. The guy's insanely intelligent and like pretty cool. So that would be my main one. So waking up early, you guys, is also very important. I drink a ton of caffeine, knock it, but waking up early is important. Yeah.
I'm Yasmin. I'm majoring in finance and accounting. But you were talking about how you want to solve the market in entrepreneurship and how you were able to find the demand. But my question was, do you feel like entrepreneurs strive better if each other has something more personal to them?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I think like the whole dentistry thing, like I don't like the dentist. But like I think it was a way, my dad passed away over 10 years ago. And I think it was a way that like I coped with it. And it was like a passionate thing. I grew up in a dental office. And so like if you're not passionate about something and you're not like thinking about it, I call it like shower thoughts. Like you're just thinking about it. And whatever it is, you're going to have to be like a paranoid about it. Like you just love it. And you don't know why you love it, but if it's a personal thing, I think that that's very important. You have to have a personal reason why you want to do it. And it's okay to not build a massive business too, by the way, guys. Like I know a lot of people that build businesses that self-sustain their lifestyles, and then they just stop growing them, and they just live. And that's cool too. I know we have a lady that she wallpapered a room for us, and she literally tried to find a wallpaper person, and her husband's in med school. She finds a wallpaper person. She can't find a wallpaper person, so she does it herself and learns, and it's just like, hey, I could do this. And her husband dropped out of med school and now works for her. But like it was like a super random thing that she kind of came across, right? So like just always keep your eyes peeled, but make it personal to you of why you want to do it. And if the business is just a mechanism to actually get what you really want, like rip, that's fun. So yeah, and then I'll go to you real quick.
I'm Eric.
Oh yeah.
Very successful, but you had a lot of transition points through your story. It sounded like when like between different businesses and getting fired and finding the office job. How I think a lot of us deal with transition periods.
Especially in your age.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
So my question is, how do you navigate, or how have you navigated those transition periods and kind of push through, even though there is a lot of uncertainty and like you don't know really what could be the best path for you down the road?
Yeah, that's a really good question. I think one is, like I talked about, like don't think that everything's going to go right. Like things are going to go wrong if you're putting yourself out there. I think it's important as an entrepreneur, you have to be like a cat and like have like 9 lives. And you have to be able to learn, adapt, like get your circumstances and then go and like find the next thing and like just do the next right step. Like don't worry about this ultimate outcome you're trying to achieve. Like I have my little brother, he's young and he's like super worried about getting married. And I was like, dude, what are you worried about? I'm like, just go on, just date and have a fun time. Like, don't go into a date being like, is this my spouse? I'm like, nothing will turn off a date like that, right? But like, just do the next right thing. And I promise, like, if you're doing the right things, like opportunities will fall in your lap. But you have to be the one that's instigating them, right? So like, I don't get that job. That job falls apart 2 days before I graduate. I'm devastated. I could have just been like, yeah, it's over. I'm just going to go do, But I'm like, no, this is my path. I got to find a way. And like the greatest entrepreneurs in my mind are the most resourceful, and they just find a way to get to the next step and the next step. And you'll start to meet people and make connections. And then there will be that moment where like you've got a shot. When opportunity meets preparation, it's very rare. But when you get that, that's when you like just roll the dice. And like, that's when I just pressed the gas pedal. I saw what we could do. And I'm like, this is the time to rip. But I had prepared for years, and I didn't know it. But if you're not putting yourself out there and getting kicked in the teeth, you're not doing enough. So it's okay to fail. So did you have something? Yeah. Thanks, Eric.
So my name's Jake, and I'm in marketing. I love when you talk about constantly learning. I wonder how you balance is the wrong word, but how you always learn and always strive to grow, but also make sure how to rest and spend time with your family as well.
Yeah, that's super hard for me. You have to find a balance, but I promise, like this whole work-life balance that everyone tries to sell, there's just trade-offs, and you just got to know what those are. Like if you want to, like Elon Musk, like that guy like sleeps on the floor of his businesses and has terrible relationships. He has like tons of different children with multiple different women, and like he's just a fanatic, but he builds like systems that can catch a rocket out of the sky, and that's just his trade-off. And everyone knocks him for being just a psycho, but like I think he's the most valuable person to our humanity right now. Elon is, but you're just gonna have trade-offs. If you want to be successful, there's no free lunch, and you just gotta grind. And then I still struggle with trying to find the balance. I just wake up early and try to get my own personal stuff done, and then it's like kids, work, home. But that stuff, like over years and years of compounding, is very valuable, and it's made me who I am. My mom all the time is like, focus on your health. Is your health okay? And I'm like, Mom, like I'm living a life that if I don't want to die when I'm 40, but like I want to say that I lived. You can live till you're 100 and never live your life. You guys know that Alex Honnold guy that just scaled that Taipei? He did the free solo. I'm convinced that guy he's going to fall one day. But what's so crazy to me when I listen to him is that he's okay with it. Like he would rather keep doing what he's doing than stop and be like, I'm not living my life. So it's just a trade-off, but you can find it, but there's no free lunch. That makes sense. So anyone else? I know we're like at 7, but cool. I think we're good. Thank you guys a bunch. That was fun.